All right, guys, I got it taken out. We got it cleaned up, all that. I got my little threads here cleaned up. Don't ever use like a abrasive like sandpaper or anything to clean these things up because of course that'll mess it up. So I just get like a paper towel and just really rub it down well and get the inside clean so it's ready to go. All right, now I've got a replacement, the Badger 5, the Insinkerator. Isn't that intimidating sounding? So we got directions for you guys who may use them. Okay, we got the top button. Now I'm not going to replace this because goes, of course, in the sink down. And the one I've got to inspect it looks fine, so I'm gonna leave that alone. Might use a new stopper though. Okay, then we've got our little things that go with it. Got the new drain. Got your Allen wrench and your washer you need for that, and your little screws that are set for that. So, we'll get this out, the main tool there. And exactly the same one I used before, so it should be an easy install. Now, it does have a plug here that we need to get rid of because that's where the dishwasher will go. So just get your little screwdriver and hammer and just pop it out. Okay, now just get the plug out. Reach in there and pull it out. It's just that little plastic piece, so we'll get rid of that. Don't need it. Okay, next thing is, these things do not come with the plug. So we can just easily use the same one we had. It's just the 3-wire. Just flip it over. And I'd already loosened that, so it came off easily. So you got your 2 wires, and you've got where you put your negative and screw that down. Now, when you're putting that in, it doesn't matter which one of these tubes put on the white or the black. That doesn't matter. It's going to work just fine. So we're going to do that. And then also, we've got our discharge tubes. See, this is the O one. And it's all gunked up. So, and some people use the old one, but I'm not going to do that because, like I said, it's all gunked up. So this is a new one, but you see it's not the same size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that down to where it needs to be. So let me go do that, and I'll hook this in. I'll show you what I've done once I get back, and then we'll install it. All right, now I'm going to set up the wires on this. So it's a matter you just thread it through here. Now, I went ahead and marked on the old one. I've got the white and the black, and of course this goes to right there to ground it. And we'll just screw that in. I'll finish that up later. Okay, now all I'm gonna do, I've got the black here, I've got my black wire there. I'll just screw them together. Put your little cap on, then you screw that down till you get it tight. Then, of course, same thing with the white wire. You can just twist it together. Not as easy as it looks sometimes. And then you just put that cap on. Then you're set. Just push it back down. You got your little top there. And this is good to go. So now I'm going to go cut our discharge tube to make sure they're the right size, and then I'll come back and we'll do an install. Okay, so I've got everything in, but what I always like to do, because I know I did it quick with you guys, is I go back in, I recheck my wires, make sure everything's snug and set. Then I got my plate back in place, so this is ready to go. So we'll just go ahead and flip that around. All right, now, I just had mentioned that I was going to go out and set my discharge tube. I cut that to the right length. Okay, I used a little hacksaw there. And also, I went and got a little light sandpaper and just sort of sanded down to where there was no rough edges, so it would sit in there get a good seal. So I did that. So now what we'll do, we'll put this together. So you got your little rubber bushing there. That'll go on first. I'll get my hands out of the way, show that. Then you got your flange. That'll go over next. And of course you got your screws. And then you'll put a little, I call it a cap. And then, because you make sure, you know, that's sitting like that, because you're going to screw down on that. And then put, and I think this is called a washer, or a little, excuse me, gasket. Slip on there. So you get that set on there, and it is nice and tight, which is good. So we got that on. Because once you start pushing down and screwing this down, this will just sit in there and give it a good seal. So, and I'll put this in once I get this set in place, and that'll be the next step. So let's see what we get this thing set up. Now, let me show you real quick. You got these little lips here that will go in and set on this, and then we'll turn it to set it. So let's give that a try. Move everything out of place. And we'll move over here. Get down to where I can get to it. And we'll go ahead and turn the way it's going to be facing with our drain and our tube here for the dishwasher. So we'll just place it up there. Might have to play with it just a little. Make sure it's set up there flush. Get it to turn. And I'll turn this back where it needs to. And we'll give it, now that it's set, just make sure it's set in there correctly. And then we'll adjust. We'll tighten that later. Right now, we'll get these set up. Okay, now we've got it setting up there, and I check, make sure everything's like it should be. Now, right now, you don't have to get it totally tight because you're going to be working on this stuff, and you can do that in your final step. So now, I've got this little piece together, and we'll, remember everything's got to be, give you a review of how things sit in there. Okay, then you'll take it, drop it in there, get it set all the way in. Get your rubber bushing up here set in, and then just turn your flange. The holes line up, so we'll get those started. See if I can get my fingers going. Okay, we'll get the other side. Just have to get them a little snug with your fingers. Got that set, and then, now I just put plumber's tape on here because that helps with the seal. So whenever you put plumber's tape on, go counterclockwise, because if you're doing clockwise to tighten, take the plumber's tape and go the opposite way. So when you start pushing down, it will stay in place and just more or less seal. Now, of course, I get a little messy with it, but it'll seal in better and give you a tighter fit so it won't leak. Now, they say just, you know, it's like a oil filter. Just tight it, get it snug with your hands. Well, basically with this, it's the same principle. Just really get a good tight seal on it with your hands. That way you don't crack it. And then you come back and tighten in your bolts here. And get those snug down. Okay, snug. All right, so that's set up. So now what we'll do now is hook back in our dishwasher hose. We'll put that on first, that would help. Get that set in there, push it all the way down. Then just tighten it up with your Make sure everything's on where it should be. Okay, get that nice and snug. All right, everything seems to be in place. So now you'll take your little Allen wrench, place it up, and now just give a final little set there. And that looks like in place. I want to plug it in. Let me find out where my plug is. All this other stuff in the way. I reach back in there and get that in place. There we go. And I'll switch that around. It's not supposed to go that way exactly, but for now, we'll do it that way. So, all right, now, double check your stuff. Make sure you get everything set like you want it. Like I said, we just tighten that down. Got our plug set. And let's give it a try. Sounds good. I don't see any leaks. So I believe we got it done. Okay. Oh guys, when I talked about plumber's tape, it is a Teflon tape that you'll use when you're setting, getting ready to screw in. So I just wanted to point that out to you. Now, we just checked everything. Runs fine. I don't see any leaks. So like I said, when you're doing the job, just take your time, recheck yourselves, and shouldn't be a problem. So good luck.